Hello everyone. My talk is about where does your time and money go? You have to rethink the true cost of your tech stack. I'm going to talk about a special monster today. I call it the 5-minute monster. This monster lives in my house, in my office, in my computer, and it has lots of cousins. It lives in your house, in your computer, in your office. It's everywhere. This thing is nasty. You're losing between 3,350 euros and 750,000 euros per year. And maybe you don't even know it. So who am I to talk about this? My name is Annemieke Bovelet, like Dunja announced. I used to have a full-service web agency, but nowadays I'm a consultant for WordPress agency growth, and I'm an accessibility mentor. And those things are actually strongly related. I built my first website, I was using front page, in 1998. And then I changed to the text editor and learned proper HTML and tables, and at that time I don't think we did much with CSS yet. And the first time I ran into WordPress was in 2007. I hated it. Just for one reason, I wanted to have multilingual. And for multilingual, we had to wait a couple of years longer. I smacked digital doors in people's faces until 2020. Meaning I was building websites that about 25% of all visitors couldn't even use. Now, if those people are supposed to buy services or products from a website that you built, and it's 25% people can't use it, well, do your own calculations, because calculating is the one thing I suck at. I, of course, asked Excel to help me make these calculations here. I connect dots between conversion and accessibility. So, on average, a freelance web designer / developer, I forgot to write it, might effectively work around 25 to 30 billable hours per week. This is a very optimistic estimate. Obviously, it's less. If you make it up to 24 a week, you're really good. But you could be better. So now, let's talk about this nasty little monster. Because I think all of you recognized it. Whether it's you as a freelancer or in your agency, you're working, you're getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and you're starting at 6, and then by 2 you did 8 hours. But you have so much day left, let's do some more. So on average, you're at your computer for 12 hours a day. End of the month, you look at the invoices you sent, and you're like, why don't my invoices reflect, when I do this 5 days a week, why don't my invoices reflect 60 hours per week, huh? Because 5 days, 12 hours is 60 hours. This happened to me all the time. There are days it still does. Now let's say you have 3 unplanned 5-minute tasks per day. Things that you should, but can't or will not bill. That's 15 minutes a day, right? Plus, you have another 2 unplanned tasks of 10 minutes. And every time you think, 10 minutes, what's 10 minutes? I can do that really quickly. And the reason you can do stuff really quickly is probably because you're really good at what you do. But you took years learning that. It's very valuable, whatever you're doing for your customers or for your own business. It's valuable. And it needs to be converted to income. Period. So, per day, 35 unbilled minutes out the window. Okay, now we're going to be super optimistic again. Let's say we count 30 effective hours a week and 30 monster minutes per day. Times 5 days a week is 150 minutes per week. If you do that times 20, 52 weeks in a year, that is 7,800 minutes per year. I'm getting there, don't worry. That's 130 hours per year. Is there anyone in this room who ever thought about it this way? You did? Good. That's 130 times your hourly rate, folks. Imagine at the end of the year, the Christmas fairy comes and says, hey, look, here's a bag of money for all those minutes that you didn't bill. That's going to be a great holiday.
That's 1 free month of work.
Yes, it is. Now, this is an insanely low hourly rate. But I know some people charge it because they have imposter syndrome, because they are starting out and think, I'm still learning. My customer doesn't have to pay for the fact that I'm still learning. Put that out the window. Because you are making the effort of learning what you're doing. And every time you do a new project, every time you deliver a new website or a part of a website or a plugin or whatever, you've brought value that the customer couldn't bring to him or herself. Do not get underpaid for that. Because at some point you're going to get frustrated if things go sideways, if it is tough, right? Now let's say you're doing 50 euros an hour and you're losing 130 hours. That is 6,500 euros per year. If you're charging 75 an hour, that's almost 10,000 euros a year. When I started making these calculations, and this is really hard because I have the weirdest form of dyslexia, so thinking in numbers and money is very hard for me. So when I finally decided, because someone else gave me this speech, believe me, I didn't think this up, someone else told me as well. I got frustrated. I was off for a week. I was like, I need to change what I'm doing. I need to change how I approach it. So now remember, I did start out with 15 minutes, right, of 5-minute tasks and 20 minutes. So that is 35 minutes. And this is going to show you how immense the impact is. Because at only 5 minutes per day more, these numbers go up drastically. At 25 an hour, you're close to 4,000 euros. At 50 an hour, you're close to 8,000 euros. Well, let's not exaggerate, 7,500 euros, but you could still do a nice holiday with that. And you're up to over 11,000 euros that you're just simply throwing out the window every year. This could be your new computer. This could be that plugin set that you didn't want to buy before because the annual rate is quite steep. This is the money you're not getting to give yourself freedom as a digital entrepreneur. So I listed up 5 and more what I call 5-minute monster food. Setting up a fresh installation of WordPress with your favorite plugin. I know people use Installatron and what's this WordPress thing called that you can have in Flask. And still, I know a lot of people, I used to be one of them, then would have to go in and say, oh yeah, now I have to install this plugin and this plugin and this plugin. Wouldn't it be nice if you could do that with one click? And then you say, hey customer, setting up your WordPress website takes me an hour, but you do it in 5 minutes, right? unexpected security updates. Don't we love them? It's important that you do them though, right? Plugin updates going sideways. So there you are. I've had this. Don't deploy on a Friday. Don't do it. Who's deploying things on Friday? I only see one hand. You're courageous. I had to have this stupid habit of getting really creative after 4 p.m. So I would do this kind of stuff, and then every support board would be closed by the time I start having things go sideways. So yeah, that's hours of frustration. Major WordPress update. You know you shouldn't update WordPress when the new version comes out, right? You're gonna wait until 0.1 or 0.2. Yeah? All right. I don't, because I'm not patient enough. But for that, you use staging. Who's working with staging here? Oh, I'm happy to see so many hands, but I'm worried about the people who do not put up their hands though. Staging saves your life, people. Hosting issues. Oh yeah, it's wonderful. So you're thinking, I'm doing great, I'm on this cheap hosting server. That saves me a lot of money, and then someone on your shared hosting server decides to put up a porn website, and the whole thing goes down. Yeah, it happens. This is the best. Your customer, can you make me another email address? Or on Saturday morning, I love that one. I lost my password. Is there anyone here managing customers, doing their hosting? You are. Story of your life, right? If they do that to you on Saturday, that's even worse. That, to me, weekend time counts like 200%. I try to raise my customers and say, if you dare to call me on a Saturday, you're going to get billed double. And this is a big one. People who know me will probably wonder, why is Annemieke talking about business? Yeah, I know she's a WordPress agency coach as well, but I'm also talking about accessibility a lot. Fixing accessibility issues is hard. It costs a lot of time. And the thing is, now with legal implications, the European Accessibility Act, most of you here are in Serbia. I don't think you are much bothered by the European Accessibility Act. You think. Until you until you build web shops for customers that have B2C, so business to consumer customers buying from a European country. If you have more than 10 employees, or you make more than 2 million in revenue, which doesn't necessarily mean for people who are impressed by that number that you even earn a dime. It's revenue. It's money going through a tons of channels. You don't know what's left on the plate when someone tells you, yeah, my company's doing 2 million in revenue. There's more. Who has a great example of where you are bleeding time? I know there are plugin creators here. Well, you have one?
Slack messages.
Slack messages. Slack is the bane of my existence. So, I'm also afraid always that I miss out on things. Probably has to do with the fact that I have ADHD on steroids, so I'm always thinking I'm missing out on things. I'm hanging around in Slack way too much. Because I can't find messages, because I can't find people, because I can't remember where they put this very important thing. Slack is a very expensive tool. Not because of what it costs, but because of what it costs you. But there's another very big pitfall. The lifetime license. I've had lifetime licenses on products that are complex, that weren't working for me. That's not the fault of the product, that's my own fault. I just don't get it. And there are two types of lifetime licenses in my world. Those companies that do give you a lifetime, offer you a lifetime license as a promotional thing, which is fantastic. But I've broken my teeth on lifetime licenses of companies that only gave out lifetime licenses. They didn't do the monthly licenses. They did it for a long time. And by the time I had implemented their stuff on all my customers, they fell and toppled and they were gone. Does anyone remember quickly?
Oxygen.
Or oxygen? Yeah. And they may have had a lot of reasons. It's not, I don't want to bash on any project, but it's, you have to look at what am I saddling my customer with? Because in the end, if you work with a plugin or a tool that is not doing what it's supposed to do, and then you have to spend 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 hours fixing stuff, there is no customer in the world that's going to accept from you saying, yeah, the tool isn't working, so now you have to pay. Because the customer will be like, yeah, but didn't you choose this tool? That's a discussion you won't win. You wouldn't even win that one against me. So think about your tooling and think about what products you buy and what products you work with. When plugin companies put out lifetime licenses, check if they also have a monthly and an annual license in place. Because if they don't, no one knows if this company will be able to financially sustain itself. So, it's a trap. I sat there crying at my computer in the weekend, having to rebuild a site completely with another product because I was stupid enough to work with lifetime licenses without checking out the company behind it. And I mean, I wish every company good luck, but they need to be sensible. You can run into constant update and compatibility issues, performance problems, security risks. And now, with all the regulations that the EU is imposing on us, that's even worse. The compliance, the write down what you do. Hey, plugin creator, can you give me a piece on how you did this and that in security? No, we can't. When you start working with a certain plugin stack, ask the plugin creators themselves. Be critical. Ask them, did you think of these things? What can I do when something breaks down? Where do I go? Research that. Also, ask your plugin builders where they are, where it comes to being accessibility ready. And if they are not, help them. We are a community. Don't just expect them, no, you're a plugin creator, I pay you money, so you have to do it right. If you find things in their plugin that are potentially a problem for you at a later stage, tell them and ask them how you can help them. And this is what happened to Oxygen. Developer abandonment. It happened too quickly. So, is a high-paid subscription really that bad? It can hurt. You know, you think like 80 euros a month, 100 euros a month. I know subscriptions that are 480 euros a month. To be able to answer that question, you should start tracking your time. Tracking time is really hard. It's hard for me too. I mean, I'm giving this talk. You may think like, oh, she's the champion of time tracking. Forget it. It took me a while to find an app that actually tracks everything I do. So I hope this doesn't ever land on some server that anyone can access, because then my privacy is out the window, right? But if you start tracking your time and you check how much time you take to set up a WordPress installation manually, because you think, if I do it manually, if I do it by myself, it is cheap because I do it by myself. I don't pay tools to do this for me better. That's saving money on the wrong end. Note how much time you lose per plugin. Even if it's just a piece of paper next to your keyboard, where you write down the start time when you started fixing stuff until you were done. Track how much time you lose over crappy hosting. I think I just came in the last minutes of the previous talk, and I heard the last words where it said, if something is offline and your customer says it's offline, check if it really is offline, or is it at his computer, but if something really is offline, I mean, a web shop going offline for more than 5 minutes, out. Check how much time you lose over a slow computer. I think the audio is behaving weird. Is it? Oh well, let's see how that goes. Anyway, so you might find yourself losing way more time than you think. Then when you save with that lifetime license product, or that cheap hosting, or by doing things by yourself because you can. The person who made me aware of this, I am grateful to him up to this day. I was losing so much money. I was not enjoying what I was doing anymore, because I was feeling like I get up in the morning, I'm churning. Every time I go to bed at night, I felt like a loser. I didn't get anything done. I didn't get anything ready. Or I thought it wasn't good enough, and I was afraid to invoice the customer the amount I should have invoiced them. Now, my 2 favorite subscriptions cost me 1,500 euros per year. Time I saved on building websites annually in the first year, 40%. Second year, 60%. Third year, 80%. And you may think I'm exaggerating. If you want to know what tool it is, come find me later on, because this is not a commercial spot for the tools I'm using. But you can ask me later. But I whip out complex websites with 2 clicks. I import WooCommerce installations with every friggin' plugin I need with 2 clicks. And it doesn't matter which plugin I'm using. If it's anything else than WooCommerce, 2 clicks. This is how I managed to save so much time. I save 600 euros per year in premium plugins. And plugin conflicts, I don't have them anymore. Because that stuff that I use is replacing all these plugins. It's built by an agency that got so frustrated with plugins that they just decided to create their own suite. Moving sites, easy. Import, export, tearing out a site out of a multi-site install, click, clack. And yeah, I thought it was pretty painful. I'm paying $80 a month for this one. So my profit margins increased. The numbers of hours that I can sleep increased. I could deploy on Friday without losing sleep. But I do more because I have a secret job. I'm not secretive about it. It's just not written on my website. I create a lot of tutorial videos and social media content for others. And one of the things I do is generate closed captions the right way. Not the blinky, 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 every word is lighting up on the video. I don't know why content creators do that. Now, creating closed captions is incredibly intensive if you want to do it right. But this is a not WordPress related subscription, so I'll tell you what it is. It is Adobe Creative Suite. And Adobe Creative Suite is like a whopping $67 a month,
Just for one.
I think. Yeah. But you know.
All, it's like 900.
Hmm?
And Adobe's representation in this market is not great.
Yeah,
It's difficult to get here.
it is. Yeah, here, especially here in Serbia, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that in general, by the way, because, of course, my point of view is always from the European perspective. So, but now, here's my thinking. When I have to create closed captions on a video, I load it into Adobe Premiere, 2 clicks, and I have captions and a transcript. It takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes for short films. If that would take me 2 hours, it would cost 300 euros. So, just transcribing 2 videos, I already have the subscription back. Now, why is this so profitable apart from my own time? I checked it. If you upload a video to YouTube with closed captions, proper closed captions, Google is going to love you. It's indexing that stuff like crazy because the biggest blind user in the world, users, are the search engines and the LLMs. So this is a money machine. You know, and of course, I know there are people here, I get this argument all the time, but I only build small websites for small companies. I only charge 500 euros. It's not a problem if you have a great tech stack, but it's bad if it takes you 30 hours to build. 6 hours? Great. 10 hours? 30 hours? You're paying to work for someone. And then you're not scalable. And being scalable is something you need to think about. Whether you are working alone or with a team, at some point things in your life change. Maybe you become parents. Maybe your friends become parents and you want to be the sugar uncles and aunts and you want to live your life outside of work because, yeah, I was using this one, but it was going. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. You know, being scalable sounds like something that only big companies will do, right? But if you are scalable, you are improving the quality of your life, of whatever you're doing. It will make you a happier person. And of course, I'll bring some more accessibility into the mix here. Oh, this was so funny. This is my friend. He's that customer always asking the wrong questions. But an accessibility-ready tech stack broadens your horizon. Now, is there anyone here who is like, accessibility, what is she talking about? What is it? Don't be afraid to admit it if you don't know it. Everybody here knows what I talk about when I say accessibility? Good.
I think I know.
Oh, yes. Now, fixing accessibility in any customer project after the fact is super expensive. It's like you've built this building for someone and then they go like, Yeah, I know you built 2 floors, but now I want a 3rd floor, and I want it between the 3rd and the 1st. And then you're like, can't do that, it's too much work. Yeah, but you installed something with which you can build floors, so go fix it. Accessible websites convert a lot better. The numbers are insane. And now that the European Accessibility Act is kicking people's shins, even companies like SEMrush are publishing numbers about that. And accessibility and beautiful modern design do not exclude each other. This is what people are afraid of. Oh, if it has to be accessible, it cannot be pretty. I cannot use animations. I cannot do this, cannot do that. Coming from no kills your creativity. Go check out the new landing page from GitHub. Don't be like me, who hasn't seen it since 2011. I hadn't seen it since 2011. And then at some point, I wanted to create a video tutorial for Elementor users when Elementor decided to switch over to GitHub for their feature requests and their discussions, which was a great thing. And I opened up that landing page from GitHub to make a sign up, to film the sign up process. And I found myself being Captain Picard with a glass of LSD in his water, flying through space. I was like, okay. This is a horrible experience. So I wrote to GitHub and said, folks, it's really cool. And it's a horrible user experience. What can I do to help you? I didn't hear back for 2 years. And then suddenly someone wrote to me, and we're working on it. Check it out. And they did. And if you check out the new landing page for GitHub, this is just, it's a thing of beauty. It gives you courage if you think accessible design is crappy. And when you know how to build accessible experience, you can take on customers across the EU. It will broaden your horizon. You can take on customers anywhere in the world, also in the US. So, reclaim your time. Make sure your tech stack is suitable to make accessible websites. And if you don't know where to find it, because it's so hard still today to find great sources that say, hey, this is how you do it. More and more is coming. Let me know. I'm sharing links at the end of my talk. There is a fantastic Slack group where you can ask anything, but you can only get in by invitation, I think. Let me know, and I'll make sure you get that link for the invitation. And then if you save your time by doing everything better with your tech stack and your time and your billing, you can use that time to learn, to sell, and to scale. Because you can't grow if you're stuck fixing broken layouts. Oh, here's my friend again. Now, I know we all battle customers that say, yeah, blind people, they don't visit my website. Why should I make a website as accessible? Why? Right? Well, I made a little video. This is, of course, nicely exaggerated. But you know, there are customers who really want you to design like this, right? This is a juice bar. They're selling smoothies, mainly with oranges, bananas, and apples. And they decide to do a campaign. And there you are, and you're going to tell them, listen, I know you like your fonts, and I know you like your colors, but you're going to lose so much conversions over this, right? I can't read this very well. And then they learned, like, oh, if we do a Black Friday thing and we do 40% off, I don't know why currently it's super fashionable, white text on the yellow background. And of course now for you it's even worse because you get this on this screen. On my computer it's clearer. Okay. Sorry?
Oh, the contrast ratio is
The
very...
contrast ratio is like,
I'm sorry,
oh,
there is a contrast ratio? I
yeah,
didn't know.
exactly. And then they learned like, okay, if we can get customers or potential customers just to click on buttons so we can track it. It doesn't matter if the button is right or wrong, just make sure we can track it. Okay, now let's go. So I made this video. What if someone has the most common form of color blindness, huh? Or people with diabetes often get a vision like this. People with dyslexia are having fun with this font you chose. What if you're dyslexic and you're colorblind, huh? Or what if you're sensitive to light in general or with a hangover? You're losing every customer that has a hangover with this design. Sensitive to light and colorblind. What if someone has tunnel vision? Or have blurred spots? Or is holding his phone or tablet out in the sun? If you, any of you, want a white labeled version of this video, come and find me. I'll give it to you. So you can do this in your own language. You can use it to convince your customers. You can put it on YouTube. Because for me, all is fair in love and war and when it helps to move, making the digital world accessible. Now, what we can do as a community, I touched upon this subject a little before. The creators of plugins are part of our community too. Oh, here we go again with the okay, let's switch. Hello. Okay. They're part of our community too. And it doesn't matter if they are giving you a lifetime license or an annual license, if they cost you $5 a year or $5,000. The fact that you pay them for what they deliver to you, being the support to their plugin, doesn't mean you can just stand there and expect them to be perfect. You don't want anyone to stand in front of you and say, I'm paying you, so you have to be perfect. Because if plugin creators or people who build websites or services would give you the actual price for the stuff they're doing, we'd be paying a lot more, all of us. We're going by quantity. We're a community. And in the WordPress community, we help each other. So when you find accessibility issues, ask them if they're aware. And what you can do to help them to report it. If support says, listen, send me your system information, don't go like, what? I have to send it to you again? Just do it. Because they have support systems in place where they may not be able to click on next to answer your question. And if their plugin is what has helping you to be more efficient in your business in general, it's good if you help them. On the other hand, plugin creators here in the room, make it easy and rewarding for people to help you help yourself. And if you want to discuss ideas around it, let's set up a table. Let's go and hook up in the after party and talk about this. Right? Like I say here, your input is significant. Share as much info as you possibly can. I have a lot of links and resources. And go dig in and come and find me and ask me all the questions you want, because I decide if I have time or not. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah.